must be Monday, and that means click this to Kevin Nash.
It's actually Thursday.
Well, we're shooting Thursday.
I know, but I mean, which means I got a chance last night because I was home.
You're balls deep. You're right.
Home on Wednesday, and I've been told many a time that Mr. Nash, you don't need to be talking about AEW because you don't watch the product.
Oh, God.
Well, let me tell you, all you listeners out there, I sat last night for 2 fucking hours, including probably the most fucking picture-on-picture commercial fucking thing I've watched in my life.
Since our show.
I mean, unfucking believable. So I'm just going to give you just my opening volley. Show starts. Never realized, because it's been a while, how Maryland Championship Wrestling the Open was. Like, not even Thunder-ish. Just kind of
the package, the
fireworks, the
right,
pyro, the graphics, just rotten. Look at that. I mean, if Corey Feldman would have came out and started singing, I would have been, yeah, damn right, perfect. Oh, this isn't Corey Feldman's show? So, all right. So it starts out, and down comes Samoa Joe. Always been a huge fan of Joe. And he comes down, he's got a blue suit on, he's got their belt, very attractive belt. Mm-hmm. Looks top notch. Mm-hmm. And then down comes, I don't know, angry, skinny kid that doesn't have the money to buy apparel. I don't know, but the whole thing is Joe is saying, and he's articulate, and he's making the point, and I'm buying into this Joe guy is their champ. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden it's just like, and I'm gonna sit back and leave that picture right there. Don't move from there. I'm going to sit. It rings, and everybody is now going to have to earn the ability to come after this championship. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch them fight for the right to take me on as champion. Down comes Hook. Okay, this is the first time that I've seen Hook move. So I'm in the picture last week or a couple weeks ago. Number one, I don't see how that's Taz's kid. Because, I mean, he's a little tiny kid. So now I find out that Joe beat this little skinny runt for that belt. And he goes up to him, and Hook's got his jaw jutted out when he cuts his promo. And he says, I guess he's a man of few words. And he says, I don't know when or where, but I'm coming back for the belt. Like, look at this. I mean, like, what are you doing? Like, did you watch an Eminem? Did you watch 8 Mile before you came out? Like, what the fuck?
It's not exactly The Rock and Jinder in the ring.
But I mean, Joe looks like fucking Joe is always. Joe could work against anybody. Mm-hmm. Joe versus Lesnar is a match. I think. I mean, Joe can work. He can strike. He knows submissions. And this is the kid that he beat for the belt. Then out come 5 security guys. As Joe makes his way to the announce table, out comes 5 security guys. The first 3 are smaller than Hook, which had to have been a fucking, I don't know if they went to a preschool or whatever they did to get those 3. And then up comes like a kind of stout black dude, another dude, and he powders. When somebody that's of any, like, any, look at this, like that alone, that double right hand up, it looks like they're like doing, like getting ready to do a line dance, He powders. Look at his ass. Look at the ass on Hook in this fucking shot. What is that?
In the baggy sweat?
Has he got the fucking, is that the Biden diaper look or what? The Trump diaper look? All right, so that's our opening, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, oh dear God, like this is their hot.
That's the hot open. That's the hot open.
This is their hot open. This is what they're hoping that they hook me with. And the only reason I'm watching this because I've been told that I don't watch it. And then of course I see this as,
what we're talking about for those listening, we get the title card that next up
shows Adam Copeland versus Suzuki, who obviously at some point fell off this motorcycle without a helmet. And Suzuki, who I don't follow Japanese wrestling, but I'm presuming from his horrible physique that he's one of these guys that's been around 100 years, and we're just supposed to respect him because the Meltzer's dirt sheets have given him 5 stars for the last 20 years. Adam looks 20 years older than me. I don't know what happened to his hair. I just,
well, there's some height to it now. There's some
but there's some. It looks like somebody did like a Brazilian blowout, and then they look like it's an over. Like he had he had hair like I did. Like he always had good hair, and now he has this. It's almost like pubic hair. It's weird. So, all right. So then we go to Hangman. Hangman versus, I don't know who the fuck, some Japanese anime guy. So down comes Hangman. I think Hangman's hair's darker than it used to be. Yeah, this guy comes out. Looks like he's, should be on The Witcher.
It's the anime vibe.
Yeah, it's definitely anime.
We're talking
very,
about that.
very anime. And they do everybody does these back and forth striking periods, and then eventually one of them sells, but nobody ever covers anybody. I guess you're not. I guess in AEW to win pinfall doesn't count. So some just fantastic, and this is the same Hangman I watched go an hour with Daniels, and I thought he did a couple of things that I didn't, that I was subject. Like, he Daniels took his arm out, but he still used that to clothesline several times during the match, and didn't really sell it as he should. But those are, an hour match. He had an impressive match. This, I just couldn't wait for it to get over. There's a spot where the anime guy jumps at him, and if Hangman would have moved a hangnail to his left, he would have fucking missed the whole thing. So it's these setup spots that you're an idiot. The only reason you get hit, it's because it's a spot. It's horrible. But so yeah. Oh boy. I think it's always every time I get in a bar fight, I do that same thing.
You climb up to the top of the bar and do a moonsault
and put myself in perils. That way, in case I do, I've got the guy in the ropes, but let me do this to get my shit in.
Right, and maybe die.
Yeah. So then it starts the factions. I think the first one was maybe Warlord came out with Cole and that whole. Oh, this was great because it was these are the last existing EVs, I guess, besides Hangman, and they make reference to the fact. This is if you can't see the visual, this is the Young Bucks. They make reference to the fact that they've taken care of the catering problems, and they're getting morale back. So part of your storyline is that the morale in your locker room is the fucking drizzling shits, which is always, I think, good for for your product. I mean, and these guys, I mean, it's always good also to have a guy that used to work for State Farm, like 6 inches taller than you, come up with a microphone.
With the mic, right.
Yeah. And you look, one of them looks like they're Payne Stewart, and the other one looks like they're on Miami Vice. I mean, just, that's such a...
But so then again, how far into the program? Are we? We're a half hour in, probably, right? I mean,
yeah, probably.
Why are you staying with it?
At this point, it's... I mean, I've been told that I don't watch this, so it's just like, all right, because like first fucking half hour, 40 minutes, fucking completely was the shits, but maybe I just, maybe something's going to happen.
Something's coming. Something's coming.
Because I mean they do tease Sting and Darby.
Yes.
And so I know that, I mean, and Steve's a friend of mine, so I want to see Steve. And I never really wrestled at the WWE with Adam, but I've always considered Adam a friend. And I wanted to watch it. I want to watch him work again, especially against somebody that physically looked incapable of having a match. And I wanted to see, like, is this guy like really some fucking wonder bug that's gonna pull a rabbit out of his ass?
Well, no. Suzuki was. I think there's some history here that led up to the match. Suzuki was, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. You guys would know. He was one of the first, what was it called, pancrase guys, right? In Japan, doing.
Didn't he come up with
the MMA hybrid style?
Yeah, but I mean, I think that he was one of the first guys to actually use some of the armbar submissions and things to that nature, which, unless but we'll get to them. We'll get to him. Because that match is so fucking bad. It's fuck, man. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like a 19-cent fucking Morton's chicken pot pie. If I can take that for your dinner. So then out comes I don't know if it's the disputed group or undisputed, but it's Adam Cole is injured, so he comes out, sits way too close to the fucking ringside to be injured, and almost gets fucking kiboshed. But Warlord comes out. And he's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
And but he this guy he's working with kind of has to make him, because this guy really comes across like just a enhancement guy at the beginning. And if I'm not mistaken, is this the one where are Guns kids in on this? Is this the one where like there's a combination? Oh, that's Wesley saying that's the next match. Okay, so they have a match, and when the first time Warlord goes to hit him with a power bomb, if it would have just been a squash, it would have made complete sense, because Warlord so like he worked strong. It was like they had to put in time, and he did a bunch of shit that just And then finally, I think that the guy hits him outside the ring with a chair shot that is just like, if you're gonna hit somebody that softly with a chair, like fucking hit him with a duster, hit him with something else like this. So.
Let me back you up here so that we're doing this the correct way. So we're covering this like Meltzer. I'm going to back you up to Penta and Hangman. Can I get a star rating on that effort, on that match? Well, we could do the segment too. Joe's segment. Joe's
speaking. I'll give a 3. Reveal of Hook on, I give a 0.
So we average 1.5 stars.
1.5.
Okay. So now, how about Penta versus Hangman?
I'd give that a 1.5.
Okay. And then we had Wardlow.
I'd give that a 1, but it could have been a solid 3 squash.
Right. So now we're up to Hardy was next?
Yeah.
What was the next match, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay, so
he's still, I mean, after all this time, Hardy still throws the absolute worst punch in the business. Like, they're just transitional waves. Oh, this Toni Storm thing was just, it was.
Okay, so what was this, an interview segment? I didn't see.
Yeah, this was an interview segment. This was like really, really, really bad SNL skit when you don't know anybody that's in the skit and the skit's going nowhere. That's what this was. This is brutal. The Storm should never do anything that doesn't have RJ in it, because that's the only thing that saves her. This bigger girl on they have matching tattoos. They have a background where they were in the dojos together, but they threw shoes at each other. It was she ended up attacking the white dude, the whatever her fucking name is. I don't know. I guess she's supposed to be like an up and comer, but
there's
she is.
Tattoo.
Yeah, from I wouldn't. I would pay not to go see her. So she's a drizzling shits. I mean, if you're gonna put somebody out there, at least put Brett out there.
So how was that segment?
I'll
stars.
Give it 0.
0 stars. Okay.
Okay. Now the next thing that comes on is my favorite thing of the night. Moxley, by far the best thing on the show. Always is. There was a promo he cut a couple weeks ago where he was bloody and he was talking shit about all the different belts that are out there, and he lost and he didn't get one tonight. And it's just like, Moxley gets it. I think Moxley's the only one that gets it on that show, that, like, and he owns it. I mean, it's just, he comes across fucking like real. And while everybody, and if you, it was that. So Moxley got a 4. I'll give him
that segment gets a 4. Okay,
a B. I'll give him a B. Like, I was hoping he was going to do something on the show, and that's all I got. So I was like, oh fuck. So what do we got next?
Next, I think was Jeff Hardy and Swerve, right?
Yeah, with the bad rappers.
And let's see, what do I have here? Swerve had Nana by his side.
Swerve actually can do some things. But Jeff just can't go anymore. He just. But it's just when you throw punches and they just absolutely look like 2 6th grade girls, like, fighting in the hallway. It's like, man, it's hard not to know that you're watching just really bad fake wrestling.
Now, it's Swerve's obligation to sell, right? Good punch, bad punch. You're in the ring with
you got to see the
Jeff Hardy.
But if you see the punches, it's just like, if you sell them, you look like a fool. I mean, the punches are so bad. They've always been bad, but I mean, these are just, I don't know.
So do you not sell? Does a Kevin Nash?
No, I know. I mean, I gobble them. If that's what you, it's the same with, I used to tell people all the time, you can chop me all you want, I'm not going to sell it. Like, just chop away, because I'm going to knee as hard as I can with my knee, and I guarantee you'll bend over. You know, it's just like, so don't waste your time chopping me.
Mm-hmm.
So
is it listen, Jeff's a draw still, right? So is it the obligation of, God, who is it? The agent who says, Jeff,
to somebody that's been working 25 years, that's been a multiple-time WWE champion, that, hey, dude, your work is the shits right now. You're phoning it the fuck in. Who does that? Maybe your brother that watches it. Maybe I do. Maybe it's my job.
Maybe you should. Well, you're kind of doing it now, aren't you?
So, Jeff, can you do everybody a favor? If you're going to throw a fucking punch and it's going to be that rotten, can you just not? Because it makes it very difficult to fucking gag through that match.
You're training for AEW. You didn't even realize it. In an unofficial capacity. All right, so give me a star rating on Swerve versus Jeff.
I'll give it a 1.
Okay.
I mean, Swerve was. I think that he in time will be okay.
Did you keep watching through the Thunder Rosa Red Velvet match?
No, I did not. I went ahead and pushed forward on that one.
You get?
I would have watched Britt Baker. There's a couple girls that I know that Thunder Rosa is actually, she's a good hand. At this point I was just hoping. I didn't expect this to deliver anything, and I was just at this point, like, how much longer can I hold my breath before I drowned?
Right. Or until I get to Suzuki's match.
That's what I meant. I mean, I need
that is drowning then.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize it till I got there.
But what about Billy? Right there, Billy had a match in there.
I don't even know
Billy
what the
Gunn
fuck. I don't know what. There was a 6-man.
Yeah, it was a 6-man
belt man, and they fucking there was more non-tags action in the ring, shit going on. I couldn't follow who was fucking legal, who wasn't legal. It was a absolute clusterfuck. And then at the end, the Billy's 2 kids put some guy through a table, and they did it so gingerly and put him over the top of this piece of wood so they could lay him to where the fucking table had been cut. It was just like, God. Yeah, here it is. Watch this. And it gets you right there. What the fuck? I'm just going to put the head in. What the fuck? God damn. I mean, and then we have Darby comes out and puts over Sting and says he went to Sting's house and in Sting's garage he had a ring. I fucking have a really hard time believing that Sting would have a garage with a ring in it
to bounce around in a spare time.
Yeah, and they got out there and Darby told him that he still had it, and that, now it's like, they're time for them to take on the heavyweight tag champions, Big Bill, Big Bad Bill, and some little tiny motherfucker. But look at that. See that shirt? Look at that. Big with the eye being the boot print.
Right.
And then clever merchandising.
Now he does appear to be big.
He's like 6'9". Yeah, he's a big dude, but fuck, okay. Like, I'm sorry, man, but that motherfucker next to him can't talk at all, and you're used to seeing Enzo with him. It's like,
good point. Tough act to follow. There's the shirt. If anyone is
anybody wants to get that, boy,
Big Bill.
Wear that to the gym tomorrow.
Okay.
This Big Bill Stomp shirt.
I need a star rating on the 6-man tag with Billy Gunn.
I don't even know how. I mean, fuck. I'll give it a 2 just because.
Okay.
I was absolutely flabbergasted on what the rules were. So, I don't know what the rules were. I don't know how you became legal, how you didn't.
Okay, so here's the main event of the night is
we're coming down. I will say this: Sting got a fucking pop. Like he got a legitimate, for whatever 1,100, 1,200 people, whatever that was there, that stepped away from the food line. Sting got a pop.
Did it appear? Could you tell on television that I think it was 2,000 and change, right? I think it was the.
They had to at times
maybe 2,400
to change to change shots. They actually shot like part of the roof instead of swinging because there was so much dead space on the floor. Like from a production standpoint.
Oh, you mean like what would have been a pan of the stage and the ring and stuff? They didn't do.
They couldn't even do. They didn't even have the ability, and it was, you could just tell because there was absolutely no energy whatsoever.
Looks like 2187, I guess, was there. They set up seats for 2457. It looks like 21 and change was.
And what is that? The people that were there and those blue spots?
I think those were available seats. So they sold the entire the one side so they could put the hard cam on the other side. Okay.
It was bad. And what is that building? That building can't hold. We did
E-Market.
We did the Magic Mike the final dance scene we did in that building.
In Georgia?
Yeah. Savannah. Yeah. So then we go into Suzuki versus Edge, whatever you want, Copeland, whatever. And they do the Violent Gentleman. So he's Every Time I Die made an appearance. But
okay, so we have
that's the Butcher's company, Violent Gentleman. It's and Andy Williams, that bass player on a now defunct band that was called Every Time I Die. That was one of T's favorites.
Oh,
Andy was one of T's favorites too. But so I popped on the Violent Gentleman shirt, and then Adam's in great shape physically, but he just really looks old. He looks just, I don't know if he's
mid-50s. Okay, so there's some footage of the match. There's Suzuki.
Oh, okay, there's Suzuki.
Suzuki.
That's Suzuki earlier in his career. Same lockup ability. You can tell now when you watch the Copeland match, it's just not as crisp, but same.
Well, he's older, for God's sake.
Yeah, same. I mean, it wasn't
he's very spry in this video.
Yeah, in this, I mean, you can just see the snap in him, whereas against Copeland, it just wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
But for
everyone listening, we're watching Giant Baba match about 11 minutes before his death.
No, I think it was 11 minutes after his.
But, all right, so go back to the regular footage. So we go
toe to toe, and then they do like the forearm shots back and forth, and then they do they break and do one or two spots, because everybody, and the thing is Adam sells for him, he loses, He goes for the choke on the ropes. That doesn't work. And I mean, some of this, you think right here he's got him in the guillotine. No, he throws through the fucking gimmicked.
That was hot.
Yeah, through the gimmicked thing there. And
coincidentally, no audience there.
No, because they're on the wrong side of the building.
Oh, that's true. Okay, that's why there's no audience. No one came.
There was nobody there.
They thought it was a work, but
they could have ran for another 2 miles that way and not ran into anybody.
Could have done it with a truck.
So they ended up, and Adam goes over. I forget what the finish was now. I think it's, what does he use? But look at him. What is wrong with Adam's hair?
You go back to the hair.
I don't know what like, look at that. What is that? His hair never looked like that.
It's a little puffy.
It's just weird. It's like, I don't know if it's like, because he's got to be gray. Like, it's like the worst thing you can do, guys, is, man, don't fucking let your wife dye your hair. Like, go to a professional. Like, you've got to have them pull some of that hair through a fucking, you've got to have layers. You've got to have, you can't just put that fucking Just for Men flat black on fat, brown.
Right.
It just looks like shit. So, so I watched that, and then at the end, Adam stuck his hand out to shake his hands, but Suzuki, as an old samurai warrior that he is, would not. Look, watch this. I mean, this is just, you're talking about gut wrench. I mean, I'm just like, do it. Shake his hand. You guys battled. No, I've got to get a workout in. So, yeah,
this could be opening the door to a rematch then.
Yeah, so that was how I spent 2 hours.
Right.
Then shortly after that, I masturbated with the roughest sandpaper I could find in my house, just to make it
to try to find something more painful than
a little bit more painful.